Have you ever wondered why some people just seem to bounce back from any setback while others, well, they seem to get even stronger? That's exactly what we're diving into today, using some incredible ideas from the book Ikigai. We're not just talking about surviving challenges, we're talking about how to use them as fuel to grow.
You know, there's this powerful Japanese proverb that says, "Fall 7 times, rise 8." And really, this isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a whole philosophy. It perfectly captures the spirit of resilience. It's this simple, but really profound, idea that persistence isn't just about getting up, it's about getting up one more time than you've been knocked down. So let's start there. Let's really dig into that core idea and figure out what it truly means to be resilient.
Now, resilience isn't about being invincible or just having thick skin. As you can see here, it's really about flexibility and focus. It's an active skill, right? It's your ability to adapt when life throws you a curveball, while still keeping your eyes on what really matters, your Ikigai, without letting all that discouragement take over.
And what's so amazing is that the secrets to building this skill, they aren't new, not at all. They're actually rooted in some pretty ancient wisdom from completely opposite ends of the world. Let's take a look at how a couple of these timeless philosophies can help us build resilience right now in our modern lives.
So on one side, you've got Stoicism from the West, and on the other, you have Buddhism from the East. We're talking two completely different paths that, believe it or not, arrived at very similar conclusions about emotional strength. Both of them teach us to kind of rein in our ego, get a handle on those negative emotions, and really anchor ourselves in the present. And the goal isn't to reject joy or pleasure, but to enjoy it without becoming its slave.
And wow, this quote just nails the heart of Stoic thinking. The philosopher Epictetus got it exactly right. Look, life is going to throw things at you that are completely out of your control. The only thing you actually have power over is your reaction. And that's where your true strength is. It's such a game-changing perspective when you really let it sink in.
So the big takeaway from both of these ancient philosophies really boils down to this: focus on the present. The past is over, the future isn't here yet. Right now, this moment, is the only thing you've actually got. And when you can accept that everything, the good stuff and the bad stuff, is temporary, you free yourself from so much suffering and you can actually learn to appreciate the moment you're in.
Okay, so now let's explore a couple of uniquely Japanese concepts that take this idea of acceptance and, well, they basically turn it into an art form. It's really beautiful.
This is wabi-sabi. It's this incredible art of finding beauty in imperfection. A great example is to think of a ceramic teacup that cracks. Instead of throwing it away, it's repaired with gold lacquer. Now that crack isn't a flaw anymore. It's part of the cup's unique story, making it even more valuable and beautiful. Wabi-sabi teaches us to embrace the flaws, not just in things, but in life and in ourselves.
And then we have Ichigo Ichie. This is such a profound reminder to be fully present. It means that every meeting, every conversation, every single experience is a once-in-a-lifetime event. It will never happen in the exact same way again. And when you truly get that, it forces you to give your full attention to the here and now, to cherish every single unique interaction.
Okay, so we've covered bouncing back. That's resilience. But what if we could do more? What if, instead of just surviving a setback, we could actually get stronger because of it? This is where we level up from being resilient to something else.
To really wrap your head around this, let's talk about the ancient Greek legend of the Hydra. This was this terrifying, snake-like monster, but it had this one really weird quality. For every head a hero managed to chop off,
2 more would grow back in its place. Hercules learned the hard way that just attacking the Hydra was making it more and more powerful. This incredible ability to actually gain from being damaged is the absolute core of a concept called antifragility.
Let's break this down really simply. Think about a glass vase. That's fragile. It shatters under stress. A rubber ball, on the other hand, is resilient. You squeeze it, it bounces right back to its original shape. But our immune system, that's anti-fragile. When it gets exposed to a virus, it doesn't just recover, it learns, it adapts, and it gets stronger for the next time. That's the goal, to actually benefit from the shocks life throws at us.
Now, this isn't just some cool theory, right? It's something we can actively build into our own lives. So let's get practical and look at the actual toolkit for becoming more anti-fragile.
So how do we actually do this? Well, here are 3 key strategies. First up, create redundancies. This is just a fancy way of saying don't put all your eggs in one basket. Have multiple income streams, a broad set of skills, a varied social circle, so if one area takes a hit, you have others to lean on. Second, try a barbell strategy for risk. Basically, keep most of your life, say 90%, safe and conservative. But with the other 10%, take a bunch of small, calculated risks. One of those little bets could pay off big time, and the failures won't sink you. And finally, and this is a big one, aggressively get rid of things that make you fragile. Pay down that high-interest debt, quit a bad habit, get out of a toxic situation. When you remove the things that can easily break, you become so much stronger and more adaptable to chaos.
All right, we've gone through a lot of concepts. Now it's time to make this personal. I've got a few questions for you to think about.
First one, thinking about that last point. What's one fragile habit or situation in your life that you could start working on getting rid of?
Next up, let's think about wabi-sabi. How could you apply that idea of finding beauty in imperfection to something in your life that you currently see as flawed? And finally, on taking smart risks. What's one small bet you could make this week that has a potentially huge upside?
Seriously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of these. Drop your answers and ideas in the comments below. Let's get a real conversation going and learn from each other.
If this gave you a new way to think about life's challenges, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. And be sure to subscribe to Mish Minds for more deep dives. Remember, the goal isn't just to withstand the storm. It's to become the kind of person who learns how to harness its energy. Thanks so much for watching.